Welcome to this week's Eternal Monday. Today we have a game from the November 2023 in real life Eternal format tournament that took place at Dragon's Lair at Alamo Ranch. It's Roaring Moon EX versus Ultra Necrozma. Before we begin, I just want to remind everyone that the Eternal format is a base set onward format with a ban list, so it's like Unlimited, but a little less insane. If you want to learn more about the Eternal format and the cards on its ban list, you can go to justinbasil.com/eternal. For our first deck list, we're going to look over this a little quickly because it's not really that different from its current standard format version. This is Roaring Moon EX. Roaring Moon, of course, has that frenzied gouging attack that instantly knocks out your opponent's active Pokemon in exchange for damaging yourself fairly heavily. We have Crobat V for some draw and Lapras to help us find our supporter cards. Ultimately, the deck is focused around Sada's Vitality and Dark Patch, again, just like its standard format counterpart. We also have access to cards like Energy Switch, just like the standard format version does. But the real interesting card for this particular deck is actually Protection Cube, which makes it so that when we use frenzied gouging, we are not damaging ourselves. Otherwise, pretty much everything in this build is just consistency focus. Stuff like Squawkabilly and Radiant Greninja help us draw cards, and overall it's a fairly straightforward deck. Draw lots of cards, accelerate lots of energy, and take big knockouts. So that's Roaring Moon. Ultra Necrozma we've talked about pretty much in depth several times on this channel, so we'll just kind of go over this briefly. It has the ability Ultra Burst that prevents it from attacking unless your opponent has 2 or fewer prize cards remaining. So you use Garbodor and its Garbotoxin ability to shut off that ability, and every other ability except for Garbotoxin. And then you attack with Luster of Downfall, which does 170 damage and has you discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. You're powering up Ultra Necrozma either with counter energy or most often with Double Dragon energy, which serves as kind of a double rainbow of sorts. Ultimately, you're looping your Ultra Necrozmas and your tools like Cessation Crystal and Floatstone with the effects of cards like Lana's Fishing Rod, and you're getting those back from your deck with teammates. This particular deck list is 1 card off from previous versions we've shown, so there are 2 copies of Cessation Crystal instead of just 1, and only 1 copy of Space Center instead of 2. That's Ultra Necrozma. So now that we've taken a quick look at our deck lists, let's jump into the game. All right, we have Roaring Moon on the left and Ultra Necrozma on the right here. We're just getting set up real quick. A little bit of a mulligan. Ultra Necrozma going first, hoping to get that Garbodor set up, I have to imagine. We do see a Trainer's Mail. Trainer's Mail going to find a Cessation Crystal. And Adventure Bag is the first card played for a deck search. Getting a Cessation Crystal and a Floatstone out of the deck there. Floatstone going on that active Trubbish. Mysterious Treasure discarding a Versus Seeker, probably to find, yep. Getting an Ultra Necrozma down rather, and another Mysterious Treasure discards that Cessation Crystal for a Trubbish. Gotta get that second Trubbish in play, want to get that Garbodor out as fast as possible. Ultra Necrozma goes the active spot with the Cessation Crystal, and I think that's just a pass. Indeed it is. So we see a Protection Cube top deck there. Pokestop goes down, and we see an immediate Pokestop, discarding all but that Versus Seeker off that Pokestop, Guzma and Dark Energy going. A little rough. Frenzied Gouging is going to not happen this turn, but we're just going to see a Guzma up that Trubbish and a pass. Another Adventure Bag goes down. Just getting a Floatstone for this one. Make sure that Trubbish can get out of the active spot. And that is a Pokestop. That is a horrifyingly bad Pokestop. 2 Double Dragon Energies and a Judge. Just going to retreat into that Ultra Necrozma and pass. That is painful. All right, we see an attachment to the active Roaring Moon. And another Pokestop. This Pokestop a lot better for the player. Going to see a Quick Ball on that Water Energy. Getting another Roaring Moon. And Sada's Vitality going to attach the Water Energy to the active Roaring Moon and the Darkness Energy to the benched one. Drawing 3 cards off of Sada's Vitality. And we're just going to see the second attack on Roaring Moon there. Taking out the knockout by discarding the Stadium card. Doing just enough damage to do so. We see another Mysterious Treasure and discarding Life too, which is an interesting choice. Getting another Ultra Necrozma down in the hopes that they can power it up. Gonna go for the Judge. Gonna hit 4 new cards. Hoping they can hit some of the cards in their deck. Do you see a Special Charge? That's good. They'll get those Double Dragon Energies back in the deck. Third Trubbish comes down. It's gonna play Victim here by taking the active spot. And there it goes down immediately after that turn pass. We see a Double Dragon Energy top deck. Very, very nice on the Ultra Necrozma player side. They are now finally in the game. An Inn comes down. So they're going to draw 6 cards off of that. And we got the Garbodor out of it. Even better. The Life Dew and Ultra Necrozma going back off of Lana's Fishing Rod. Very good to see. Gotta chain those Ultra Necrozmas as best as possible. And we have a 170 damage hit there, discarding probably one of the darkness energies off that Roaring Moon. And there it goes, taking that out. Pokestop goes back down. Protection Cube, all that is not an item anymore, unfortunately, so those are all discarded. Bit of a rough one for them. But we do see a double dark patch rather, and a retreat trying to save that damaged Roaring Moon. And then Ultra Necrozma goes down, so it is what it is. Garboder going to the active spot with that Footstone on it. We do see another Ultra Necrozma come down, and Teammates is played down. I have to imagine it's a double Dragon Energy and a tool. Yeah, it's a tool. Life Dew, no less, it looks like. Oh, it's actually a counter energy, even better. So sparing those double dragon energies and making use of that counter energy while they can. Doing another 170 to that active and discarding a darkness energy. Versus Seeker for that Sada's Vitality. Just going to attach the darkness energy to each of those Pokemon. And get them closer to being ready. Drawing 3 more cards. Hoping to see another Roaring Moon. There is another Roaring Moon. So we'll be able to get another one set up. Altar of the Moon coming down. Being discarded to knock out the Ultra Necrozma again with that second attack. Garboder once again going to the active spot. Special Charge being played once again, getting that counter energy and double dragon energy back into the deck, making sure that they are available for Teammates. Teammates now, of course, being played to get a counter energy and Ultra Necrozma to go back into the active spot and take the knockout on that first Roaring Moon EX. So now Ultra Necrozma is taking 2 prize cards. Yay, hooray. That Roaring Moon now is in the active spot. The damaged one, unfortunately, there is in the active spot. Gonna get a couple of energy on it, but needs to hit another one. We do see one in hand, so it can take the knockout here. Choosing to attach it to the benched one, and a dark patch. So choosing. It looks like they're gonna choose to retreat. Yep, there's the retreat. Retreat goes, and then the clean Roaring Moon goes up the active spot. Ends up damaging itself in order to take a knockout here, which is a little rough. No stadium card to use for that. See Alana's Fishing Rod getting back that Ultra Necrozma and Life Dew once again, throwing those back into the deck. And Guzma and Hala here, kind of a last hope for getting another Necrozma down. We do see the Artisan. Artisan, of course, going to be able to do exactly what they need there. Artisan going to fish out the Ultra Necrozma, play that down on the bench, and now because of the other items that have been gotten off, or the other things rather, not items necessarily, we got that Life Dew, we got that Double Dragon Energy, and that is a knockout on a second Roaring Moon. Roaring Moon now going down, and now it's 2-2. Active Roaring Moon has no energy on it. It's going to be very difficult to power it up here. And it may be an uphill battle to the point of insurmountability. We do see a double discard on the tools here. That is brutal. But there is still a Trubbish on the bench that has a tool attached to it. But that doesn't really matter because at this point there's only 2 prize cards left on the Roaring Moon side, which means Ultra Necrozma doesn't even need Garbotoxin active in order to take knockouts. It can already attack. We see a Pokestop taking a couple item cards into the hand. See an attachment on the active. Dowsing Machine going down, discarding a Earthen Vessel and an Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. Getting back a Dark Patch being used to attach an energy to the benched Roaring Moon. Get an energy switch and just a retreat. A Hope and Pray it happens to be here. Just that they can't get the knockout this turn. Trainer's Mill gonna fish out for a card. Choosing a Nest Ball. Nest Ball getting another Ultra Necrozma. The Garboder on the bench now evolved up. So even if there were more than 2 prize cards here, it would still be a KO or not a KO, but an attack. We do see the Necrozma going back in. Ultra Necrozma, the Mysterious Treasure finding another Trubbish. Another Double Dragon Energy on the bench. Ultra Necrozma very set up now. Both of those Roaring Moons horribly damaged in very rough situation here. The Roaring Moon player just kind of has to find a way to stall out at this point, and they're just going to scoop. They don't see a way they can get it. So that is it. That is the game. Crazy, crazy game. As ever, Roaring Moon started hot and then just kind of burned itself out. That is it for today's game. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you happen to be in the San Antonio area on this Saturday, December 9th, you can join us for the next Eternal Format special event at Dragon's Lair at Alamo Ranch. Deck validation opens at 11 a.m. and round 1 will start at approximately noon. With that said, that's all for today's video. I will see you in the next one.